Okay, so it's time for pattern 7, the last bit of the Havana Cal that I was supposed to finish in May, but I did not. But I'm finishing it though. So here in pattern 7, it's basically the same as pattern 1. In pattern 1, we had 1 DC with 11 single crochets in between, always going one step to the left. Now we have 1 DC with 11 single crochets in between, but always going right. Okay, so we are going to start here. I'm just going to show you my colors. This is where we're up to. This is where we left it at in pattern 6, and I have these beautiful, oh, I'm going to have it to be in camera here. Fade of orange into yellow. I really like this one. It's beautiful. It's what I used for the Happy Cal. And then the other direction, we're going to take it from this blue here and into darker blue, some purple, and then bright purple in the end. So I have more colors here in this, so I'll use less of these, I suppose. Okay, off we go with pattern 7 of the Havana Cal. Whoop, whoop! Okay, off we go. It is row 1 of pattern 7. And like I said, here now we're always going to be doing just 1 double and then 11 single crochets in between. I actually realized here that I had messed up my border stitch here at the beginning of last row. So I only did the chain, no single crochet, and this actually goes to show why I had the border stitch like this to begin with, because it's no fun to get into the chain. That's why I do a chain and a single crochet, you know. Also it gets the border, the edge here to be sturdier, but this is why. Okay, so we're going to start here now with the border stitch properly, 1 chain and 1 single crochet. And first we have 2. Oops, I'm going to have this here in my frame. It looks like a 2 there. It's 1, row 1. So now we have 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. And then we fill in our pita pocket with 1 double crochet. And then there's 11 crochets across here. And then we do a double crochet into the next pita pocket. It's fine to count these, but I know that I have the right stitch count, so I don't really have to. So this just leads us on. Oh, it's been such a delight to stitch on the Havana again. And I have some new ideas that have come to me now. That's the beauty of reworking some old patterns, because you always get some new ideas. So that's 11 singles and then 1 double here. Dee-dee-deep. And then we finish with 9 single crochets because we started with 2. 9 plus 2 is 11. Oopala. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Border stitch at the end of the row. Snippity snap, whoopa. All done with row 1. On to row 2. I've just put some music on. I'm not sure you can hear it. It's I Am Woman with Helen Reddy. I am wise, but it's wisdom full of pain. Yes, I paid the price, but look how much I've gained. It is the Women's Day in Iceland today. It's the 19th of June. Invincible. I love this song. 19th of June, we got our right to vote. And it was in 1915, so that's 110 years ago. Can you imagine? It's only been 110 years that women have a right to vote. What the dockety dock. Okay, matter at hand. Row 2, we're gonna start with 1 single crochet, because remember, now we're gonna just take these DCs and take them 1 step to the right always. I am system full of pain. One single and one double just before we get to this next double. And this double here lands in the double from row, the last row of pattern 6. I am invincible. Yeah, but think about it, like 110 years, that's insane. Like my great grandmother was born in 1905. So this was like after she was born. Actually, and when we did this in 1915. My brother understand. Okay, we have 11 here now. I'm talking too much. I am upset when I think about how short. It's just been a century we've had the right to vote. Okay, concentrate, Tinna. Okay, 11 single crochets and then one double. If I had to. And then we finish it with 10 singles. I am strong. I am invincible. I am woman. Oh, it fell to the floor, so and now it has dog hair in it. Perfect. 10. No, 8, 9, 10. And then the border stitch. Snippity snappy whoopa. Row 2, all done. On to row 3, and I'm just going to tell you what we'll do beforehand so I can rant on about women's rights. Now we're going to start with one double here, and then we do 11 singles and one double and 11 singles. So that's a very easy repeat to do. But yeah, can you imagine? So in 1915, women got the right to vote in Iceland. We were also, we were still a colony of Denmark at that time. We were a colony of Denmark until 1944. So it was really like Icelandic women had been battling to get the right to vote, and the Danish women as well, and they got the right to vote at the same time. But the Danish women got just the right to vote from, I don't know if it was 18 or 20 like everybody else, like the men. But in Iceland, it was only for women 40 years and older. Can you imagine? Now, I'm 44 years old. Then I only got my right to vote, like, if it was back then, I would only have had my right to vote for 4 years. It's insane. I just get so mad when I think about these things. Okay, border stitch, and we do one double, and then we do 11 singles, and that's the repeat here. But yes, and then it was just a few years later. I actually thought that it was in 1918. Then we got the general rights as the same as the men, not just women over 40. Yes. This is something we must be very vigilant about, our rights, because it's insane to think it's just been 100 years. And what? I'm not going to swear because then I have to register it as a swear video with YouTube. But if I could, I would swear. Know that I'm swearing in between takes. We're very lucky though in Iceland now. Like we have very good gender equality here. We're one of the top countries in the world. We actually have now, oh, this is going to be a fun part here. I'm just going to be talking about this the whole time. We actually have now like a crazy situation going where the president is a woman, the prime minister is a woman, the other two heads of they have three political parties in the government now. Head of all these three parties are women, so the foremen of those parties are all women, and they're all ráðherra, like they are ministers, yes. And then the bishop is also a woman, so we're just and the and the chief of police in Reykjavik is also a woman. So we have what we call a slam dunk. Well, I mean, I guess I'm angry that it's only been 110 years, but look how far we've come. We're taking over. And it's all good women also, so that's happy. Okay, row 3 all done. That was just 1 double, 11 singles, 1 double, 11 singles. And like you see here, we're always just moving our double 1 step to the right, 1 step at a time. We're getting there. On we go, row 4, and I'm gonna try and calm down. Now I'm gonna move into a darker blue here darker navy before we go into the purple. And now, since we had this DC here at the first stitch before, now this DC will transfer to the last. So now we start with doing the border stitch, and then we do now 11 singles and 1 double. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. And then we would do our double, always 1 step to the right here. Feels like a dance, 1 step to the right, 1 step to the left. And again the same, 11 singles and 1 double. Do 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 do. But yes, I am very thankful that I am living now in the year 2022 instead of 1925, for example, because I would not probably have half the rights that I have then, just because I'm a woman. And let's face it, us women, we are just, more amazing. We're the people who are making the babies, growing the babies, and doing everything. So it's only fair that we have everybody, the women, in charge as well. La 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 la. Row 4, go girls. To row 5. My son is actually making us some lunch here in the background, so I hope it's not too noisy. I have asked him to keep it down. And now, because we had 11 in the last one, now we start with 10 single crochets. And I'm changing into a more bright yellow here. Row 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And just always remember in this one, you just, until you have 1 stitch before your next double crochet, you do your double in this row. It's always good though in these rows, these patterns that have long rows of or a lot of single crochets in between, to just every now and then count them, so that you know that you have this right stitch count. But this really does lead you on. Always 11 single crochets in between. When you get to the next DC here, and we have just 1 stitch left, then I'm going to place my DC there, like so. And now we finish with 1 single crochet because we started with 10, remember? And we do our border stitch, snippity snappy whoopa, row 5, all done. And I'm a bit calmer. On to row 6, and I am moving into my purple now. Whoop, whoop. And since we had 10 at the beginning of the last row, I now know that we have 9 here, but basically I'm just crocheting until I get to the double crochet. And this is a very simple pattern, but I said I was going to crochet with you, so I'm just going to do that. That's 9, 1 double, and then we have 11 here in between the next, before the next single crochet. 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, let's face it, it's like 95% of the people who watch my videos are women. So I would love to hear from you in comment. When did you get the right to vote? When did women get the right to vote in your country? Men can also comment, of course, because obviously men would be happy that women have right to vote too. So that would be interesting to see. Here it was 1915, but then like that was for 40-year-old and older. But like kids, like boys at 18 got the right to vote, but women had to wait until 40. I cannot talk about this. I get so upset. working myself up all over again. But yeah, I would love to hear, when was the right to vote for women in your country? So we have here the last DC here, and we started with 9, so now we have 2 single crochets. 2 plus 9 is 11. And then we do the border stitch and snippity snap. Voila, row 6 all done. On to row 7. I'm going to do one more in this beautiful yellow. Bum, bum. And we do 1 double. Now the border stitch, and now we start with 8 single crochets. Just work your single crochets until you get up to the double. When you have 1 there before the double, you do our double here, 1 step to the right, and then we have 11 in between. I actually managed to start the back side of the border of my Havana yesterday, and I have a little surprise in store for you guys. If you have the pattern, there is something fun coming. Okay, that's 11. Oh, yellow and purple really go together just beautifully. 11, 1 double, and now we finish with 3 singles. 1, 2, 2 and 3. And the border stitch, snippity snap. That last looks good. That's it, row 7 of pattern 7, all done. On to row 8, we'll go back to the purple. I think actually I should just go straight into this one. Oh no, this one is nice as well. We do our double, and now we start with 7. No, we do our border stitch, sorry. And now we start with 7 single crochets. 4, 5, 6, and 7. And 1 double. Look at this cutie. Want to say hi to the camera, Ulfur?
Hello.
Isn't he cute? My baby boy. Not such a baby anymore, but still, he'll always be my baby boy. 1 double, and now we have 11 singles. All the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies. I get my heads up, up. 11, and then we do our double. This is really crazy simple. And now we finish with what? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yes, because we started with 7. And then we finish. Snippy snap. Whoopa. Nee, whoopa. Row 8 of pattern 7. All done. On to row 9, and I just got served this beautiful sandwich with fried egg and everything. I know nothing better than when people cook for me, especially my sons. They're both very, very nice in the kitchen. Very good in the kitchen. That's because I taught them well. Okay, on we go with row 9. And we have the border stitch. Now we start with 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we do our double. And then we have 11 in between. As before. This is actually the second time we have a woman president in Iceland. When I was born in 1980, I'm born in 1981. And in 1980, we were the first country in the world to democratically elect a president or a nation leader that is a woman. And that was Frú Vigdís Finnbogadóttir. And she is the president of my youth. And oh my God, it's so important to have role models that are women. So I grew up in the 80s thinking that it was nothing more normal in the world than to have a woman president. And it just really matters. 11 singles, 1 double, one crazy ass lady talking about women's rights, and we finish with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 single crochets. But no, it really is so important. It's so important to have role models and see that we can do it. So I always thought it was just normal, and it should be, and it is. And now we have a woman president again. We've had a few men in between. They've been fine too. Okay, row 9 all done. And rant over, hopefully. I will not promise anything. Okay, row 10. Now we have only 3 more rows to go. And I'm actually going to use this really fun purple here, which is the Faroe Island wool. I really want to visit the Faroe Islands. I must put that on my list. So this is the Faroe Island wool that I bought actually in Little Prjónabúðin. I showed you in the video where I showed you when I was crocheting along with you when I was buying stuff for my yarn for my Havana afghan. I used it in my blanket as well. Okay, so now we start with the border stitch. We're on to row 10. Border stitch at the beginning of the row. And now we have 1 and a 2 and 3, 4, 5. And then we do a double. So that's 5 singles and 1 double. And now again we have 11 in between. Ba-da-ba-da. 10 and 11. And then we do a second double here. Our next double. And now since we started with 5, we should have 6. Skerðu bara í þetta, þú veist, í hliðina, þannig er það svo. Já, ertu að loka, já, ok. Sorry. 3, 4, 5, and 6. And the border stitch at the end of the row. Snippity snap, whoopa. Row 10 all done. This is a fun purple. On we go, row 11. Má ég sýna þig líka, ég sýndi Úlf? No. I'm just gonna show my other baby here. Since I showed you the big one, that was the small one. Neither one of them is small anymore. Well, I'm the smallest in the house now. Okay, row 11. Oh, this is very fun color combo I've got here with this very perky yellow and the bright purple. Happy, happy. Okay. Now we have the border stitch at the beginning of the row, and we'll do 1 and a 2, 3 and 4, and then we do the double, and again 11 in between. Talking about wanting to go to Faroe Islands, I want to go to both of the Faroe Islands. I've never been there. I've been to Greenland, and I've been to Norway and Sweden and Denmark. I've never been to Finland, but I want to go like here in the North Atlantic. I really want to go to the Faroe Islands, and they have great knitting tradition there. I'm not sure about the crocheting. And then I really want to go to Shetland Island as well, and the Orkney Islands and all this. I feel these are my neighbors here. We are the North Atlantic Alliance. Okay, that's 11. 1 double. And we're gonna finish with some sort of a number of the singles. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Yes, we started with 4 plus 7. And then we finish with the border stitch at the end of the row. Whoopa! Row 11 all done. Okay, so this is the last row I'm gonna do with you here. We're finishing pattern 7. All 7 patterns of the Havana Afghan done here in little videos. So grateful and happy that you've been crocheting along with me. It's been just lovely. Okay, last row here. We're gonna start with 3 single crochets. Obviously the border stitch first. Then we do 3 singles. And then the double. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then 1 double. I like 12 for the repeat because it's 3 times, it's 3 times 4, 4 times, yeah, we got 3 in there. If you have a 3 in it, then I'm happy. And now we finish with, it should be 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 singles. And oh my god, I'm a bit sad to finish. And then the border stitch and whoopa. All done with all 7 patterns of the Havana Afghan. Oh my god, I did make it. Let's see here. This is pattern 7, this is pattern 6 here, 5, 4, my favorite here, 3, 2, and 1. Whoopa! Oh, this has been lovely. Thank you so much for crocheting along. I love seeing all your Havanas. Well, I'm off to Australia, so toodaloo. Okay, I was a bit too early on there. I was just gonna, when you continue with your repeats, because we just did 1 repeat, if you're gonna do 3 repeats here, like I did in my blanket, then obviously just start again. And remember here in the beginning, we did 2 single crochets and then a double. So that would be, you just continue and do everything, row 1 again. Border stitch here. And then 1, 2, and then you double, yeah. And then it all fits. Wunderbar. I will see you soon though. I'm gonna have some videos before I leave, but a lots to do. Thanks for crocheting along. I very much appreciate it. Toodaloo.